No one likes rules. But there are rules when living in an apartment complex because there's other people around you. In the same way, you know, when you've got to think about your neighbour when you're living in the house, but it's just a bit more strict. So when you're going to live in an apartment and in a complex, you need to know this, and you need to be aware of this. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is actually talk about the main concept where all these rules derive from. So if you think about this concept, you're basically going to be okay. Okay. Now this concept is in the legislation, actually written in this legislation called the Unit Titles Act, and it means what it is you can't affect someone's quiet enjoyment. Now you sort of think, well, that sounds a bit weird. Well, obviously when you think about a quiet enjoyment, you can't affect somebody's enjoyment of their own place where they're staying. So that comes under, you know, having parties, being really noisy. You can't, you know, if you're allowed pets, you're probably not going to be allowed a pet that barks all the time. Some don't allow pets, but you know, the ones that do, it still doesn't mean every pet's allowed. So, you know, there's a good chance you can't have 5 dogs. You can't have a parakeet that chirps loudly all the time. You can't have a stereo that plays a lot of bass. Treble's okay. I mean, people are reasonable, so you can talk to your neighbours and go, hey, I'm going to be having, you know, I've got a few people around tonight, just sort of let you know. And, you know, people are going to be fine. But if you're playing it at 2 a.m. in the morning, just like your flatmate would be, they're not going to be happy. And that means you're breaking the rules. So if you think about that one concept that you've got to keep to, you can't affect someone's quiet enjoyment. You're going to be right. Cheers.